Large breed dogs today.
We are joined live by our resident pet vet, Dr. Katie Heinrich from the Silver Spring Animal Wellness Center, and your friend Minnie, whose name is a joke.
Some irony there.
Minnie is Maxie.
Sure.
An English Mastiff.
Yes.
Only 6 months old.
Only 6 months old.
So what do you have to do differently with Minnie than another dog that's 6 months?
So large and giant breed puppies need special care as opposed to the smaller breed puppies. So a large breed puppy, I would consider anything that's going to be over 60 pounds when full grown. Giant breed puppies, I mean, she'll probably be closer to 150 or so when she's full grown. And so the most important thing with large and giant breed puppies is to not overfeed them, because large and giant breed dogs are prone to orthopedic problems, and you can set them up for orthopedic problems later in life or even as juveniles if you give them too much food or if you give them the wrong type of food. And so what we want, our goal for these larger dogs is for them to grow and reach their full potential, but to do it very slowly and not to have their bones grow too much too fast. And so they need to be on a special, they should be on a special large breed puppy food. Okay. And those large breed puppy foods are less calorie dense, so they don't get, too much nutrition where their bones are growing too fast. Oh, she's doing great.
Oh.
And they also have a specific ratio of calcium and phosphorus. They have a little bit lower calcium level, so their bones do not grow too fast and make them more prone to orthopedic problems as they grow up.
Large breed dogs take up a lot of space, but they're really just lazy bones.
They're lazy, yeah. They're actually fantastic family dogs. I mean, they do take up a lot of room and people get overwhelmed when they see them, but they kind of lay around. They're typically very good with kids because they don't have a Napoleon complex that a lot of the smaller dogs will have.
Do you have to be careful though with feeding them because they just want to lounge so much? Yeah,
you do have to be careful with their weight. I mean, and as most people can imagine, when a big dog gets orthopedic problems and has mobility issues, that really limits their quality of life.
What else do you need to know about the large breed before you get a dog like this, besides obviously you need to pay attention to the food and how you feed them?
I would say exercise is one thing, because a lot of people see a big dog like this and they're like, oh, I'm going to take it jogging 5 miles a day, as it's growing up and wear it out. You actually have to be very careful with their exercise as well, and you don't want to do what's called forced exercise, where you're taking them jogging for, down concrete for even a mile or two. You can kind of think of it as they're growing up, like you wouldn't take your 6-year-old child, you wouldn't help train
like 3 miles or something.
3 miles,
okay.
Right. So an appropriate amount of exercise is something that dog would do with the same dog of a similar age. So they do a lot of playing, but they rest in between. Yeah. And so they can do all that type of exercise they want, but they're really, until they're done growing, which for these guys is around 15, 16 months, they really shouldn't be jogging, running beside a bicycle, doing any crazy frisbee jumping or anything like that. That could make them more prone to hurting their bones.
Why is it large breed dogs, hi Minnie, how are you? They just don't live as long as smaller dogs.
Yeah, they don't. We don't really know why. They're more prone to mobility problems, which gets very hard for people to manage in a bigger dog versus a smaller dog.
Do their organs have to work harder because they are bigger?
Possibly, that could be part of it. We just don't know for sure. They're very prone to cancers and things like that as well. So it could be that they're just genetically not the ideal, I can't think of the right word, the ideal, health system for their size. Right. Like smaller dogs just tend to live longer. They do better.
Okay.
But great temperaments generally.
Dr. Katie Heinrich, thanks for coming in and bringing Minnie with you.
Yeah, she's
very good job.
Good
Didn't need my napkin here. Minnie was a slobberer, but I did not need it. Got a question for any of our experts? Send an email to asktheexpert@tmj4.com. You can also leave a voicemail at that number right there on your screen.